Intro music.
Wait, that's not it.
What?
He's no good to me, Dad.
Intro music. Intro music.
Bounty hunting is a complicated
Did
profession.
we hear the theme music? I didn't hear the theme music. And
What are
look, high five.
Hold on.
High five. Get out there. What up, people?
This is it. We're really doing it here. And not only are we really doing it, we have a producer.
We have a producer. We have extra people this time. We have one person in the back doing all kinds of
There's a
fancy
production crew.
Yeah.
There's a green screen. I've got Rob up on the screens here. I'm gone. Oh my God, where'd I
Now
go?
it's just me. We're trying out a new set here. We're back at work.
Yes, we are. We are socially distanced. As you can tell,
Socially-
he's way over there.
I am.
And
I'm on
I'm
the
way
other side
down
of the
here.
room from him, so we're still safe.
And we are Banter, Beskar, and Banthamilk.
That we are. We're back.
And you know what? We're more of a Mandalorian podcast today than we have been in quite a long time. There's been some exciting news.
Very good, exciting
Very
news
excited
about that.
about it. We hope you're doing well. We hope you're catching us all on our social media, right?
Yep. Follow us on all those.
Insta, Facebook, Twitter, MySpace, LiveJournal, Zanga, right? No,
Yep,
something?
all
No.
that stuff.
I wish we were around in like 2001. We could have a LiveJournal.
We could. It would be a lot
Zanga.
of fun. We could have a GeoCities page. It would have been
GeoCities. What was the other one? Angel Fire, right?
Angel Fire, yes.
Angel
GeoCities
Fire.
and Angel Fire would have been a lot of fun. If we
Mike's
had-
back there playing around with all of our Zooms and stuff, and he's just
Yep.
getting. He's really excited because he's been wanting to see our podcast in action. He's one of our fans. We actually had a competition. And he won, and he actually won the ability to come and produce our show. So
This is what you get.
This is it.
When you win a competition, who wants to produce the show? This is what you get. You get ghost images.
Ghost Force Ghost me.
Yep.
So if you're just listening to this on one of the many places you can catch us on Spotify, on Stitcher, on Google, on Apple, make sure you go to our YouTube channel.
You can see all the antics that's
And you
going
can
on.
see, man, Mike is just having a good time
He's
back
having
there.
a good time over there.
But anyway, how have you been, Rob?
I've been wonderful. How are you?
You know, it's Mandalorian news.
That's right.
We get to
That's
talk
the
more
important
Mandalorian
thing is
today.
Mandalorian news.
So I'm
That's very
excited about
important.
that. And you notice, obviously, we don't have a drink with us today.
No.
Normally, we get to have our BanthaMilk along with. Alas, I am having some acid reflux, and my doctor says, maybe hang on. Maybe hold up for a little while on the cocktails. So
That, and on top of that, we didn't throw this together. We were going to do this our normal Zoom way at nighttime. And today, while at work, we decided to test out our equipment here at work. So we're kind of doing this a little whimsically right now.
whimsical. Whimsical is the word. I think whimsical is the word for our entire podcast.
I think it is. I think we should just rename our podcast Whimsical.
Whimsical, Banter, Beskar, and Whimsy.
And Whimsy.
A Mandalorian podcast.
Mandalorian podcast.
I
So,
love it.
Twitter. Check us out on BanthaMilk.
That's right. BanthaMilk on Twitter. BanthaMilk
Instagram.
Podcast.
BanthaMilk Podcast
On Instagram
on
and
Instagram
Facebook.
and Facebook.
Right.
Type in BanthaMilk into YouTube and you'll find us, or Banter, Beskar, and BanthaMilk. You
Well,
can
the
type
host
in the
even
whole
has a hard
thing.
time saying it.
I know, I can't even say it. Now I know why the guys at the Supreme Resort hate our name of our show, because it's such a tongue twister to say. So
Yeah, well, maybe I think the Supreme Resort is hard to say. How about
I
that?
think it is too. So their Supreme Resort,
Yeah,
it's hard
bring
for
it.
us to say your name.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Anyway.
speaking of the Supreme Resort,
Yes.
we have lots of friends. We were actually on a different podcast this past week.
Yeah,
the
we were on our
Ears Up.
parent podcast, the Ears Up podcast last week. So
That's
check
right.
that out. Ears Up with a Z.
Yes, we were talking a little bit about Galaxy's Edge
Yep.
down in
And
where is
Disney
Galaxy's
World
Edge?
and
Disney World and
Disneyland, yeah,
Disneyland. Yeah, that's
it's,
right.
Batu,
Batu.
and Dark Spires Outpost is what it's called.
Yeah, man.
And so Jason gave us a whole history of it because it's been around for a year now. And then Nick and I went into some more details, some things you can see and find. And we also found out what lightsaber we could build, because you can build your own lightsaber there based off of our personalities.
Oh yeah.
So I got the blue lightsaber.
I got the way cooler cyan lightsaber, which
Cyan.
apparently is blue.
It's light
but,
blue.
but different.
Yeah, but a different blue.
But you can have a cyan lightsaber in Jedi Fallen Order, and I did find that was way cooler than the blue one.
There
So
you go. So see, now you know those things.
There you have it. So make sure you check them out
check
at
them
Ears
out.
Up.
And-
Check out their Patreon.
Yep, Patreon, Ears Up at Patreon, and also their Etsy page called Coviers.
That's right.
They have a whole bunch of T-shirts and stuff over there, Ears Up T-shirts.
And if you're a big Disney fan and you have your own set of ears and you want to personalize them,
Yep.
go ahead and get yourself a pair of Cub ears.
You could do that. And then, as we said, the Supreme Resorts, another podcast, and also from the Vault, the Supreme Resort guys have this other podcast where they talk about their straight to DVD movies, and that's a fun thing. But let's get into what we are here for.
Obviously, which is just for all these trends. I just can't get over it. We have the benefit of having a monitor up there.
So we can see what's
I keep
going
getting
on.
distracted because Rob is just so delightfully up there, and then he's delightfully
Or
over
over
here.
there. I'm
Yeah, it's
here,
nice.
and then I'm there.
This is what happens when you give adult men toys.
Yes,
I guess.
that is what
Anyway,
it is.
we did have a little bit of a poll that I neglected to get out to you last week, or last show. So we're going to get out to you this show for sure. I would like to know your opinion on this one, because if you recall, last time we met and talked, we talked about a very interesting pair up, or I guess it wouldn't be a pair up so much; it would be a face
Battle,
off, a
just a
battle,
battle,
right?
yeah.
Between Baby Yoda and Wonder Woman.
Right.
Right, and the consensus was who would come out the victor?
The poll consensus was Baby Yoda would win
Somehow.
in that battle.
Somehow, I don't
Although
know.
I
Honestly,
disagreed with them, but
yeah,
you know,
I don't know that
whatever.
I would agree either. But this next one we've got is a pretty even matchup. I think we've got Voldemort, Lord Voldemort, Tom Marvolo Riddle for those Harry Potter fans out there, versus our boy Sheev Palpatine, two of the big bads of the fandoms. I want to know if, especially those of you like me who are big fans of both of the fandoms, let me know who you think is going to win and why. Who has the upper hand? I don't know. You know, I have a hard time with that one. I have a lot of thoughts about it because
Yeah, because they're both very powerful, and I think they're powerful in equal ways in their own realms.
But
so,
the problem is Sheev Palpatine managed to conquer a galaxy, and
He did.
And Tom Riddle had a problem conquering a school.
true,
Right?
Yes, the
So,
school of you know,
Like a bunch of teenagers.
teenagers. He couldn't stop teenagers.
So I have a real problem with it. Anyway,
So
we
I
want to
think-
know
I
what
think
you have to
just
say.
swayed the votes in one direction. I think that's what
Sorry,
you just
I
did
didn't
there.
mean to do that.
That's
You know,
okay.
election tampering. I know it's a
Yes.
big touchy subject
It's a big,
these days.
it is a big touchy subject, but that's okay. So today we have lots to talk about Star Wars wide. We're going to talk to you all about some Mandalorian stuff, and then the big topic everybody's thinking about and talking about and questioning: who are the top 10 bad guys in Star Wars?
Top 10,
We're going to tell you who they are.
or at least who we think they are, and really, what else matters?
What else matters? It's only
our show.
It's our show. So what we think is the only thing that
If
really
you want to
matters.
find out what someone else thinks about bad guys, listen to their show.
Yeah.
No, don't listen to their show. Listen to our show.
Listen to our show.
Just
And
listen to
follow
our
us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook as well.
Nice plug there.
Thank
well
you.
done.
I've been posting, I'm up to the 40th day of 365 days of Star Wars.
Yeah. What's our theme this week? What have we
This
been going
week's
with?
theme are X-Wing pilots.
All right. So
So
what do we got?
a whole
We had a Poe Dameron. I know I
Poe
saw.
Dameron was already
Wedge.
there. Wedge Antilles was there.
All
You want
right.
to take a guess as to who else might be out there coming up soon?
Maybe our boy Luke Skywalker might show up once or twice.
Maybe, but you never know.
I guess you'll have to
You'll
check
have
out our
to check
Instagram.
it out and see if Luke Skywalker made it into the list of X-Wing pilots.
From
or
what I
not.
understand, he was a decent pilot.
He was.
Bullseyeing womp rats with his T-16 back in Beggar's Canyon,
Back in Beggar's Canyon, yeah.
which seems cruel.
But you know what? They're
Are they a
annoying.
pest? Are
They
they
are a
an
pest.
invasive species?
They are.
Maybe.
They're like the rats of Tatooine.
Well,
you
they're
know.
called womp rats. So
Yeah,
that
so
makes
that's
sense.
why it
But
would-
you think maybe they eat their crop? But like their crops are water, right? They farm,
And air, yeah.
so maybe they drink all their water.
They drink all the water. And we don't want that.
Tatooine problems.
Yes.
I really like this setup. I feel free. This is nice, and this is the first time Rob and I have been able to have a show together in 5 months.
Yeah.
In the
yeah.
same
In the
physical
same room.
location. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
So-
Anyway, so we were talking
Season 2.
season 2.
Of
Oh
The
man,
Mandalorian.
there is big news, right?
Big news.
we
So-
don't have a trailer yet.
There's no trailer.
You can bet.
But it will
once
be-
there's a trailer, we're going to be on here speculating wildly.
Yes, we'll break down every second of the trailer, and
That's
that
right.
2-minute trailer, we will give you a full 45-minute show about what we think each one is about.
At least. But
At
until then,
least.
we have a little under 2 months, October 30th.
It was announced yesterday, October 30th.
Yes,
Now,
indeed.
it was funny, we were almost doing the show on Tuesday, and I was going to play a game with you called What Day Do You Think It Will Be Released? Because we'd known for quite some time that it was coming out in October. So then I was going to say, what day do you think it will be released? And I was going to guess either the 9th or the 16th.
Okay.
Because it was coming out on Fridays in season 1.
Right.
So I kind of
So
hedged
is the
my
30th,
bet.
is it a Friday?
The 30th is a Friday.
Okay.
So we had the 2nd, the 9th, the 16th, the 23rd, or the 30th.
The 30th does seem like a strange day to
Yes,
release the
it's-
yeah.
I mean, if you're going to tell everybody it's coming in October, and you're going to wait to the 2nd to the last day of October.
Well, there was a rumor, and apparently it's been disproven, but a lot of people were worried online because there was a rumor that the second season was so bad that Disney watched it and sent it back for reshoots, and that's why we haven't heard anything.
Okay.
You can pretty much bet that's a bunch of crap.
Yes.
I
it
would
was
be
the
willing
same,
to bet.
It was Dave Filoni and John Favreau were still writing
Yeah.
and producing it, so there's no
it's
way.
not going to be bad.
Yeah.
But I'm betting, or I'm wondering if maybe there's so many spoilery type things. They're having a hard. They don't want to release the trailer too early.
Sure. Yeah.
And like spoil some stuff. I don't know. I mean, there's
there's
a lot of
already speculation out there.
well, yeah, there's a lot of
plenty.
confirmed stuff that's leading to, and that's what we're going to talk a little bit about today. Is just kind of our wish list and the couple things that we're kind of hoping for. We really don't have enough information yet to go on and make guesses, but
Right.
I definitely have some stuff that I'm hoping I see.
Yes.
Starting October 30th, which is
October
a short
30th.
time away.
Thank goodness.
So
Yes.
let's think about that, right? So where do we end our last Mandalorian season, right? We have our boy Moff Gideon, who has chiseled his way out of the TIE fighter with the Darksaber.
Right, because we discussed before, if you don't see an explosion, that means that the bad guy lived.
Exactly. Even if we didn't see him crawl out of that thing with the Darksaber, we knew he was alive
Yes.
after that. So we know we've got that going on.
So I think he's going to have a much bigger role this season
I hope so.
because
He's so good. I really hope so.
they're bringing in other what could be bad guys. We don't know. There are new characters.
Right, the Timothy Oliphant character is and that's one of my other ones I want to talk about for sure.
Cobb
But
Vanth.
yeah, and he's supposed to be wearing Boba Fett's armor. Right? And
Supposedly,
he's like
yes.
like the deputy sheriff of a town or something.
Of a town in Tatooine. But Boba Fett, Tamora Morrison,
Mhm, the guy who played all the clones.
yes,
and, yeah.
he played all the clones and he played Boba Fett. He is listed on IMDb as Boba Fett.
Okay. All right.
So we have Boba Fett listed, we have Timothy Oliphant listed, and everybody's rumoring that he'll be playing Cobb Vanth. So
Timothy
we have
Oliphant, who, by the way, one of my favorite guest starring roles of all time on The Office. Right,
Oh,
when
yes.
He played, what was the guy he played?
I don't remember what his name was, but
He worked for Osprey Paper. It was
yeah,
so good.
yeah, he was really
That's
funny. in it.
actually, I'm a little let down on myself for not remembering that. I will remember by the end of this.
There you go.
We'll get there. Anyway, so yeah, we have Boba Fett, who, now when I was thinking about our top 10 villains,
Okay.
that was we're going to get to that a little later, but I was thinking like, would you consider Boba Fett a villain? He's certainly not a good guy.
He's not a
right?
good guy.
But I saw a lot of people online, like they were listing like Jango Fett, and first of all, I don't think Jango Fett would make my top 10, but like.
Yeah, I saw one where Jango Fett was listed in the top 10
But
as
even
well.
then, like, I wouldn't call him a villain so much as a plot point. You know what I
Right.
mean? They kind of
Yep.
used him to push the plot forward, but he was never like, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's for later's discussion. But anyway, Boba Fett, Timothy Oliphant,
Bo-Katan,
Bo-Katan,
yeah,
and Ahsoka Tano.
and Ahsoka Katana, yeah. No, they're not. No, I don't know. I don't think Bo-Katan would be a bad person.
No, but these are definitely people who are causing a lot of hype, a lot of
Yes.
discussion as to what's going to happen. Now, the Bo-Katan thing, I mean, that mixes up perfectly with the way the last season ended, because she was the last person to have the Darksaber, wasn't she?
Yes. So the last
Rebels?
one that we've seen with
Right.
the Darksaber. So yeah.
So something happened between Rebels
Somehow
and now
she
with
lost
her.
it, and Moff Gideon got it. So
We got to see how that happened.
Hopefully, we'll see.
Maybe during the Purge of but we saw the Purge of Mandalore in Clone Wars, right? So
yes.
it wasn't during
and she
that.
still had it then.
Right.
So we don't know. So it was sometime after then. And we haven't seen how she got rid of it, but she doesn't have it anymore.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and guess we might get a glimpse of that this season.
Yes, and I have a feeling there's going to be an epic battle for it back again between them.
Now, we mentioned Ahsoka. That brings up a whole thing too. Now, I've mentioned it on this show a bunch. If you have not watched Rebels yet, go watch Rebels. It is, I honest to goodness, and I was talking to my buddy Bill literally like 10 minutes ago, because he's just now getting through the later seasons of the Clone Wars.
Okay.
And it's just he's saying, just like I told him, like it's so hard to get through that first initial slog, but
Yeah.
those last seasons of Clone Wars are so good. Rebels is all that.
All
from
good,
the
from the beginning, yes.
All 4 seasons are just
Yep.
really, really great. But the last we leave off with Ahsoka, she's off into like no one knows, right? 'Cause
Yeah,
she's
she
going to look for
disappeared.
Ezra.
Yeah, she went to her and
Sabine.
And Sabine went to look for Ezra.
In the, I guess the land beyond, or what is it, the world beyond world, or something like that. Whatever that
like
weird force
the
world.
weird time travel.
Right, because
area.
Ezra and the whales and Thrawn go for a magic carpet ride into
Yes,
the great beyond.
into who knows where.
So maybe we'll see Ezra live on screen.
That would be cool.
If
That
we're
would
going to see
definitely be cool.
Ahsoka, and I don't know. But they didn't say anything about Sabine, though.
No, Sabine has not been verified in IMDb credits at all.
Right.
So people were saying because they're bringing Ahsoka that they might bring her, but then other rumors are that they're bringing Ahsoka, giving her a small part so that she can have her own spin-off show on
Okay.
Disney Plus. So there'll be a whole Ahsoka show.
I did hear, and there was also a whole lot of talk recently about the Obi-Wan show.
Yes.
Because that apparently was recently announced. I know we're bouncing back and forth here, but this is how this goes. You know, you've been here for, what is this, 24 episodes now? My
24th
goodness.
episode, yes. Yeah,
The Obi-Wan series, I just feel like they're just kicking the can down the road.
yeah, and now it's only going to be apparently
A limited series,
A limited
right?
series, one season of it, and that's it. And I mean, it's been in production and planning for so long. I think they want to get it done and over with, and then move on.
Now it's not unheard of for limited series to be renewed for second and third seasons. So I'm holding out hope a little bit for that.
Yeah, and hopefully
But-
it's written as well as The Mandalorian was written. So
Do we
that
know?
way-
Is it going to be like a Dave Filoni thing or
Well, we know it's Kathleen
Kennedy, right?
and one of the producers, the female producer from
Chow?
yes,
Okay, Deborah Chow.
Deborah Chow is
Okay,
apparently
she's great.
in charge
yeah.
of it now.
I mean,
so,
she did work on The Mandalorian. That was awesome.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So now she's in charge of it. So
let's hope.
So let's
Here I am.
hope that
I'm
they
up
can
top
do
now.
something.
Hello.
Yes.
Sorry.
So Boba Fett. Oh, Mayfield will be back.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
so-
awesome.
yeah.
You know, I had not really looked too much into Gilbert. I'd seen him. You know, I saw him on Breaking Bad, and I like seeing his stuff coming up. But the other day, I stumbled across his Philly rant. Have you ever seen his
Oh yeah.
Philly rant?
Oh yeah. He's hilarious.
I
yeah.
had never heard of his Philly rant. Apparently, this rant that he made about Philadelphia put him on the map.
Okay.
Because he was doing some show at the Tweeter Center in Camden, and I guess they booed the guy before him. And so he just decided I have a 15-minute set, and I'm just going to spend it trashing Philly.
Trashing Philly.
And
yeah.
it was, for some reason, people booed him, but a lot of people cheered him too. It's like so endearing to hear, a guy with that accent just kind of lose it on your town,
yeah,
I guess.
destroy your town.
Yeah,
when
but
normally,
it's-
a stand-up comedian is always like, "Hey, go Philly," even
Right.
though they don't know two things about it. But he knew a lot.
He knew, and he was listing specific Phillies and what they could do specifically. It was really good. But yeah, I didn't realize he's set to come back, but I guess that makes sense, right? Because
Yeah.
he was obviously still. They left them,
They left him on the station, and they were
Yeah.
just stuck on the station. So
and that was maybe my favorite episode of the season. So
it was a fun episode. It was,
I'm happy to see.
yeah.
The
So
phone is ringing, Mike. You want to get the? That's got to be Lucasfilm said they were going to call.
they're
earlier.
coming to hire you for all of your production skills.
Yeah. So just
so
get
yeah,
a
so-
message. It's okay.
So he'll be back. So that are the people that we have.
So I don't know if you saw in the promotional image, right, that I sent you. The Star Wars Instagram released a promotional image, and someone on Reddit released a side by side. Baby Yoda has grown. Little Udall has grown a wee bit.
Oh.
If you compare Little Udall
Okay.
to Kyle's feet,
Okay.
right, in the first season he came barely halfway up his calf. Now he's all the way up to his knee.
Okay, so
So-
I want to talk about that because I read somebody wrote an article about how disappointed they were in Jon Favreau's decision to make Baby Yoda 50 years old.
Okay.
Because according to Yoda, he said when he was 100 years old, he was training Jedi. So if Yoda was training Jedi at 100 years old, our friend Udall, Baby Yoda, the child, is 50 years old. It took him 50 years to get to this infant stage.
Well,
And-
maybe. I mean, again, we don't know really anything about this species.
Right.
Maybe ages 0 through 50 is infancy, and then 50 through 100 is toddlerhood through adolescence through.
So for the
early
next
adulthood.
50 years, they could shoot up
I
real
mean,
fast.
think about this. Anakin is born. He becomes a Jedi Knight within 20 years.
Okay.
This kid's already 50. You think by the time he's 70, give him another 50 years. By the time he's 100, you don't think he could be a Jedi Master? I think he could.
Okay.
right? Because Anakin did it, and Anakin was too old to start the process.
Right. Anakin was too old and so was Luke, and they became
Oh
two
man,
of the
look
greatest.
at that! He's putting
Your names up there,
graphics
yeah.
and our email or our website.
Our website, check it out, BanthaMilk Podcast.
BanthaMilkPodcast.com.
So somebody wrote a whole article about how you thought Jon Favreau would have fact-checked that and figured that out. So if that's the case, I'm a little disappointed because he is so on top of everything that how could he miss something that important?
Yeah, but at the same time, I feel like they've been doing so much retconning of all of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He could have just very well been, oh, they mentioned that offhand somewhere? Nah.
Whatever. Yeah, I don't care.
You know, just...
So, yeah. Because, I mean, when you hear, when Mando first gets the key fob, and it says, you know, you have to find, he's 50 years old.
Right.
If it would have been 30 years old, it wouldn't have had the same effect. You know, like 50, you're thinking an old person. 30, you're just, and even, I don't know. So, whatever.
30, you're like, all right, it's got to be someone like youthful and like, you know,
exuberant
like
and
50,
youthful.
You're thinking,
You're
know,
thinking
like,
old.
like
yeah,
Rob,
like balding
like,
and no way.
So we need the imagery.
Yes, exactly. Although I'm not quite 50, so thank you for nothing. Now, expectations for season 2. What do you have expectation-wise?
Expectation-wise, I'm hoping for at least 45-minute episodes. Number one. That's my hope. Am I already to be dashed?
Fingers crossed. I think we're going to be stuck in 30 minutes.
That's
26-minute, 30-minute, maybe a 34-minute episode will be amazing.
That would be. I would really love that. But,
yeah.
Other expectations. I would like to see more Kyle, right?
Okay.
Kyle was very quiet and silent. That's kind of his thing. But I think because he was unmasked, Kyle, for those of you who don't know, you need to go back and watch our first episode.
Any of our episodes, yes.
But Kyle is Din Djarin, who apparently Disney decided
Mando,
to change.
the
Whatever.
Mandalorian,
Anyway,
whatever you want to call him.
I would hope that we get some more character development with him. We get to see more of his past, see why he's this way, see what happened with the droids. I mean, obviously we know what happened with the droids that messed him up, but and maybe we'll get Udall's first words.
Oh, that'd be nice. Dada.
Dada.
Yeah.
You know, Force lightning.
Force lightning. That would be a good first word.
Yeah.
I was trying to get my kid's first word to be steak, but it didn't turn out that way.
No, it wasn't.
No, it was Dada.
That's
Well, Mama, Trey's was Mama, and Cameron was Dada. So it worked out perfect. Even match for the two of them.
Yeah, but
So
steak
there you
is
go.
good too.
Steak is a good first word. Yeah. So here's what I don't want to see.
Okay.
Carl Weathers is back, and so is Cara Dune, which I'm fine with that.
Great.
I don't want to see a buddy cop film this time. I don't want to see all of them riding around in the Razor Crest, all like, hey, let's go get some bad guys.
Right.
You know, like, I like the way they did it before. Cara Dune was in episode 3, and then they get them all back together to fight Moff Gideon. And they kind of leave it with Cara Dune and Carl Weathers staying or starting a new guild, a new bounty hunter guild.
Right.
So I want to see him run into them. I want to see him meet them. I want to see, even when he needs them to battle Moff Gideon, I want to see them get back together, but I don't want to see them palling around the whole time. Like, I think that would be too much.
Okay. Yeah, I get that. I understand that. It's the Mandalorian. I want to see mostly our boy Kyle and Mandalorian stuff. I'd love to see more intricate Mandalorian stuff. There was a lot of like the weirdness with the armorer, who again I just have been calling Mandalore because historically speaking, the leader of the Mandalorians is called Mandalore. So I'd like to know a little bit more about that person because she's out there still.
Yeah.
Right. Because she kicked the crap out of those stormtroopers.
She sure did with their
sewers.
With their giant hammer
tool.
That
was actually some. And again, I still think that she might be force sensitive.
Okay.
I know they were using vibroblades during that scene, but they stopped right when they almost killed each other.
Yeah.
It seemed like she had something to do with it.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe it was a creative choice of theirs, but I would love to see maybe like, I don't know, she's someone we know who has taken refuge since, I don't know.
Do you want to hear a rumor that I don't like?
I do.
So this is a rumor, and we're not spreading this rumor, and I think it's bad. But somebody thinks that in season 2, they're going to go back in time, 900 years back in time, and Udall becomes Yoda.
So they're going to drop Yoda back off 900 years ago.
Yes. And Din Djarin, the Mandalorian, our boy Kyle, is going to become one of the legendary Mandalorians of all time, because then either sometime, this is the rumor, that they're going back in time. I don't like it.
I don't know that I like it either, but I can't say that it's impossible.
Okay.
Since the end of Rebels, they went back in time.
Yeah, and there was a big thing people were saying, you know, are they going to create time travel in Star Wars? But they've done it already. They already did. But yeah, so I don't want.
But it wasn't really time travel. It was kind of like in the movie Interstellar. You know what I mean? When they're like looking through the books and like, so it was like that with all the different doors. But it was because they pulled Ahsoka in, and if Ahsoka's coming back, I mean, they could very well. I don't know.
So I don't like it.
It is a little cartoony.
Yes.
For a live action thing.
Right.
You know, I think you can get away with that easier in Rebels because it's a cartoon and there's some things that just you're going to accept a little easier.
Okay.
I think it's going to be harder to get away with time travel in a live action Star Wars.
I can see that. I can see that.
Yeah. Anyway.
You want to hit some Star Wars news?
Yeah, you got news for me?
I got two little things, and it's mostly about games.
All right, I'm excited. I'm ready.
So both of these, they came out just recently. News about these. The Sims 4.
Right. Yes.
Sims 4 is going to have its whole Batu edition of Sims 4, which it's going to be like its own separate quest.
Right.
So you buy the download for the Batu edition. You're going to be able to take your sim out of the Sims apartment that you built for them, take them to Batu.
And for those of you who missed earlier, obviously Batu is the Galaxy's Edge, the outpost and the planet where that takes place. So it's like a special edition sort of marketing thing with Disney for Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah, so you're going to be able to go there, you're going to be able to build your own lightsaber, you're going to be able to build your own droid, you're going to be able to bring both those things back to Star Wars. You're going to be able to, or Star Wars, back to Simsville, whatever the Simsville name is. You're going to be able to build your own Star Wars-esque house, also in regular Simsville.
All right.
So,
little sand huts on Tatooine.
Yeah.
Like
And supposedly, my kids are big Sims 4 fans, so they played a lot. So apparently people are very upset about this.
Why are they upset about it?
Because when you come back, you're going to have apparently a spaceship, and people have been asking for cars in Sims 4 for years.
And so they got a spaceship before they got a car?
Before they get a car, yeah. So people are outraged. How can you let them travel around in spaceships but not in cars?
Gamers, man.
Gamers. So that's it. So the people are very upset.
They have some real problems they're dealing with in this world, and they're tackling the big issues.
The very big issues.
day at a
Cars in Sims 4. You need some cars.
Maybe someday I will live in a world where my children will be able to play The Sims 4 with cars.
With cars in it.
And not Millennium Falcons.
That's right. No land speeders, no Millennium Falcons.
Be the
I want a
change you
car.
want to see in this world, Rob.
That's it.
Be the change. And
Be the
you
change.
too, out there in BanthaMilk Nation. And you too, Mike.
One other news. Look at that. Mike's freaking out over here.
Oh boy.
This one I'm very excited about. The new Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga.
Oh yeah.
So I had both of them. The original Lego Star Wars, which was just episode 4. Then they did the original trilogy. So then they had 4, 5, and 6. Did they do episodes 1, 2, and 3?
Mm-hmm.
They did do episodes 1, 2, and 3. Now they're doing episodes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. All of them in one giant bundle.
Yeah, if you've never done the Lego Star Wars thing, it doesn't even matter if you consider yourself a video game player. I love video games. I play them all the time. My wife does not.
Okay.
And that is a video game my wife and I can both sit down and play together because there are like, there's me who's going to like use my lightsaber and stuff like that, and my wife, she likes to pick the droid. And she goes and gets all the bricks.
Yeah.
She can help.
Yeah, it's awesome because
it's
there's
a great
so.
game.
I mean, you have the main storyline, you finish the regular storyline, but then once you finish the regular storyline, you have to go back and basically do the whole thing all over again. If you want to collect all the Lego bricks and you want to get all the characters and all that stuff, you need to have Force-sensitive people and this and that and whatever. So it's awesome. So the trailer just came out. The trailer is amazing. You got to watch the trailer. I love it. I'm so excited. We have to wait until spring 2021 to actually watch it, or to actually play it.
Yeah. But we're gonna be talking a lot more coming up soon because it's almost the holiday season.
It
Right,
is.
so coming up soon, one of the best things about Star Wars is the merchandising, and sometime towards the holiday season, we'll start talking about what you need to get for the holiday season. There's a lot of stuff coming out, video
Yes.
game wise,
Yep.
toy wise, Lego wise. So we're gonna be talking a lot more about that as the holiday season comes around.
You also pointed out to me that they dropped some new images on Instagram. Star Wars did,
Yes, they did.
of the High Republic meet Yoda.
Yes, they did. So the next kind of era that they're going to explore in Star Wars is the High Republic, right? So it's supposed to be something like 100 or so years, a couple hundred years before.
A couple hundred years, 700 or 800 years before.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Star Wars, I mean, that was a pretty bold thing for them to release. It was just like images of Yoda from the High Republic. So whatever happens next, because again, for the last couple months, we've been talking about this kind of dry spell we've been in of Star Wars news. But at least like this release of concept art shows something's happening.
Yes.
They're doing something. Something's in
Yep.
the works.
They're planning something.
And I'm excited to see young Yoda, and I'm hoping we get to see a little edgy Yoda. Yoda before he became wise.
Yes.
Yoda before, when he was this powerful little weird dude, but maybe like had a little more darkness to him.
So, like in episode 2, when we see Yoda walking around with his cane and then pulls out his lightsaber and he's jumping all over the place, we're going to see 800 years earlier, 700 years earlier.
He's
So
that cane.
he should be that
should be
guy.
much more spry.
That spry all the time.
Oh yeah.
All the
so
time.
Get ready for that. And he does. He looks. I mean, he's got the nice robes. He looks pretty good. I'm excited.
A little
about
less wrinkly, looking
Yeah.
good. A little more hair, a little less wrinkly.
it. Yeah, maybe use some cocoa butter. Something to
Yeah, to
keep himself
keep it
shiny
going.
and smooth, green.
So now the reason you've been watching this whole time, top 10 bad guys in Star Wars lore,
Oh yeah.
as told by Nick and Rob.
Oh yeah. Are you
So,
ready?
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
So we'll start with number 10.
I like it. That's a very good place.
It is a good place to start, because if we start at 1, then people are just going to
All right, that's number one.
That's
All right,
it.
we'll see
All right,
you.
we're out of here. See
We
ya,
gotta-
thanks.
It's the clickbait thing, right? We gotta
Yeah.
lure you in.
lure you in. So here's my number 10,
Let's hear it.
and then you tell me yours.
I gotcha.
Jabba.
No way.
Yes.
My number 10 is Jabba the Hutt.
There you go.
Wow. Up. Here we
Boom.
go.
Jabba the
Ready?
Hutt. There we go. High five.
There we go. All right, yeah, Jabba the Hutt.
Jabba the
I
Hutt,
think-
number 10.
I think Jabba the Hutt. I mean, what I did was I just sat and I listed every like bad guy I could think of.
Okay.
And I just kind of looked at them and I decided which ones of these actually. And I felt like Jabba. I mean, he's like the bad guy. That's like the counter bad guy. You know what I mean? Like the big bad guys are
Right.
obvious, but like
Yeah.
this is like the bad guy.
Yep.
That's the bad guy without being the bad guy. I know I'm saying a lot of words, but still.
And
he's just,
well, you're not really saying a lot of words.
saying
You're just
the
saying
same word a
bad
bunch of
guy
times.
over and over again.
Either way, Jabba the Hutt, man. I mean, he had this crime empire.
Yep.
He was this big, ugly slug dude, and for whatever reason, people still followed him. So
Yeah.
it's pretty cool.
And they were religiously following him.
Yeah,
So
and he lived in style too. He had
He
that
did.
sail barge. He had
Yep.
a palace.
Palace,
He had slaves just kind of doing his bidding. He had a
He had
giant rancor.
a
beast to
rancor
feed
right
bad
underneath him
guys
that he would
to.
feed. But yeah, I mean, how can you go? That's a bad guy right there.
Yeah, Jabba
Jabba.
number 10 for sure.
Jabba number 10. All right. So we both agree on that one. Number 9. You ready?
Go for it.
I'm gonna go with Moff Gideon.
Oh boy, see, I had Grand Moff Tarkin.
Oh, I have him higher.
All right, see, I
Yes.
didn't have Moff Gideon on here because we
Okay.
haven't seen him. I did have him listed, and I was considering it because I love the actor.
Yes.
And I think he has a lot of potential. We just haven't seen enough of him yet.
Well, that's why I put him at 9, because we haven't seen enough of him yet. But he did annihilate an entire battalion of his own men just to prove a point.
You're right.
So, I mean, that
Pretty
alone is.
twisted. See, now I wasn't sure if we were listing like best bad guys based on how bad they are,
Okay.
or best bad guys based on how we like them.
Okay.
So I did based on what my thoughts were then. Maybe you were like, man, this guy's a bad guy.
Right.
He deserves to be up here.
Yeah.
All right, so Grand Moff Tarkin, Moff Gideon, number 9. Grand Moff Tarkin, I mean, I'm sure you'll talk about him a little later. I mean, he definitely deserves to be on the list.
Oh, yes.
I mean, the dude, he's the one guy in the entire series that I see like talk back to Vader. You know what I mean? And like talk
Yeah.
to Vader like he was an underling.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
pretty cool.
So yes. So there
Number
we go.
8.
Number 8.
Oh,
You
look
go
at him.
first.
He was listening to him up there. Man, we need to have
Oh,
Mike
look at that.
on. He's not spelling it exactly right, but that's okay.
That's okay.
We got you. We appreciate it.
I like it. I like the list. Awesome.
So number 8,
You go first.
I had Kylo Ren.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah.
You see, it's interesting because I can't wait to see what you have higher up then, because
Okay.
I have Kylo much higher.
Okay.
I have Snoke
All right.
at
See, I
8.
don't have Snoke on here.
Okay.
Snoke would definitely have made the list if it were not for this, the Rise of Sky, or whatever, the Last Jedi,
Right.
and the Rise of Skywalker that just undid him.
Yeah.
I was 100% on board with the Snoke thing.
Right.
The Star Wars, the Battlefront game, Battlefront 2 came out, and we got a little story about the Operation Cinder and the end of the Republic, and like we heard that Palpatine heard this big felt this disturbance from the Outer Rim territories, and I'm like, oh my god, what is Snoke? He must be the.
He turned out, yeah, but I was going off of what he was supposed to be, what he
Sure.
should have been.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there we go.
Either way, but Kylo, I like Kylo. I think Adam Driver was the best actor in the entire sequel trilogy.
Okay.
And I thought he deserved to be up there, even if he was kind of a just Darth Vader fanboy.
Right.
You know,
Yes.
Whatever.
Okay. Well.
So I think the reason ours are a little different is because I included some people who I think you either won't have thought of.
Okay.
I think you haven't heard of. We'll see. Because
You will see.
I don't know that you heard of.
Okay. Because I know you've heard of my next one.
Go ahead.
So I put Count Dooku.
Who?
Count. Yes. Yes.
Count Dooku. Okay.
Count Dooku.
I get the Count Dooku thing. That works for me. Yeah, he works. I did not have Count. I had the Sith Emperor.
Okay.
So this is where I got a little nerdy.
Okay.
And it's
So are you going into legends now?
yes.
Okay.
So the Sith Emperor was like, and I'm going to talk a little bit about Revan in a little bit too. But the Sith,
Oh, okay,
You know,
yeah.
before the Sith were like a secretive order, they were an alien race, right? These red dudes with these forked beards. And then the Sith became like this empire. And either way, the Sith, like 1,000 years ago or so, was ruled by this dude named the Sith Emperor, who was like, he lived for like 1,000 years, and he like enslaved. He was ridiculously powerful. Go check out The Old Republic, Star Wars: The Old Republic. It's a free video game that has amazing story. It's kind of like World of Warcraft, sort
Okay.
of, but it's free, and the storylines are awesome. You get to know a lot about this Sith Emperor guy. So Sith Emperor,
Sith Emperor. Okay.
who I think has a name, but off the top of my head, I can't remember.
I went with Count Dooku because
Sure.
in what was the book that I just read, Palpatine's
Oh,
teacher,
Plagueis.
Plagueis. In Plagueis, Count Dooku has a big role as a good guy,
Sure.
but as the good guy, he doesn't like where things are going. So he's questioning his good guyness. And Plagueis sees this and knows that he can turn him to the dark side.
Yeah.
So I did get more backstory on him, and to see how he wanted to do well, right, good, whatever word you want to use there, but then saw that he wasn't happy and he wanted to go then to do it the right way, which then turned into the bad way.
That's kind of the theme, though, with Star Wars, right?
Yes.
Is the people who, with the road to hell is paved with good intentions.
Yeah.
You want to save the galaxy and save your wife, and you wind up murdering a bunch of younglings.
Younglings and everybody in the process to do what you think is right. So,
But that is the cool thing about that book, and again, I'm glad you checked that book out, because it does have a little bit too much of the midi-chlorian thing in it.
yeah, there's a lot of midi-chlorians in it, and it was written, I guess, around the time
Yeah.
of the original,
Yeah.
the prequels.
Yeah.
So
Mike's having a good time.
Mike's having a good time back there. You definitely need to watch it on YouTube to see all the effects that Mike is throwing into this. So
He's really experimenting.
he's
back
learning back there. This is his best learning experience.
But no, it's a great book, and it does give a lot of interesting backstory. Like if you read those books, you realize that like Darth Maul was Darth Sidious's apprentice, while Darth Sidious was still Darth Plagueis's apprentice, and so on.
And even though there's a rule of 2, they had the 3,
Right.
and Plagueis didn't even want the rule of 2 anymore. He's like, that's stupid. So
Yeah.
so there's a huge hierarchy, and you learn a lot about Maul as well as Palpatine and Plagueis. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah, read the Darth Plagueis book.
Yes, very
for
good
sure.
book.
And you can get it on Audible. It's a great audio book.
All right, now we're down to 7.
Number 7.
Number
we just
7.
did number 7.
No, Count Dooku was 8.
Oh, I had Kylo Ren as 8.
Yes.
And then I had Sith Emperor as 7.
Oh.
Okay, so who
Then
do you have 7?
7, I have General Grievous.
General Grievous. Okay, man.
Yes.
See, this is why we got to do these back to back, because these are all great villains, but I just didn't have some of these.
Oh,
guys
you know
on
what
my
it
list.
is? I have 2 10s.
What did you do?
I had Jabba and Moff Gideon both at 10. So I'm going to have my number 1 on here would actually be, oh no, I skipped. Never mind. I'm okay.
You're okay.
I'm
Number
okay.
6 is YPU.
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 We'll get it all caught up. So
That's right.
General Grievous, you are 2 10s, is what it's.
That's right. Oh boy.
So yes, so this is General Grievous is 6 for me.
Okay.
So
for
General
this-
Grievous is 6 because who else can wield not 1, not 2, but 4 lightsabers at one time?
Yeah, but I was really let down by that scene in particular. when I was a
Because he
kid.
got beat so easily.
And like, he had 4 lightsabers for like 12 seconds. It was the same thing in episode 2 with Anakin. Like during that last fight, Obi-Wan throws him. It was like he has 2 lightsabers for 4 seconds.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, well, that was fun.
That was fun.
Like, did you just not feel like choreographing?
It was too much work. They were
I
like,
guess.
we're going to have to CGI all of this. We'll just do this quickly. You would
Yep.
just cut
Just
him in
cut
half.
these off.
Cut him off and he'll be done with it.
I actually had for number 6 Dryden Voss.
Okay.
Dryden Voss from Solo. I know Solo gets a lot of flack.
Oh, okay.
Not a whole lot of people love. I was a big fan of Solo.
Okay.
And I thought Dryden Voss was a really interesting character. I thought that they brought Terrace Kasi in with Dryden Voss, which I thought was a really cool thing to bring in from Star Wars Galaxies.
Star Wars
which we
Galaxies, the
talked about
game,
on
yeah.
here.
That I still play.
Are you still playing?
Still playing, yes.
Wow.
Say hi to Samave, Sammy's.
Are they still out there?
They're still out there, yeah. She's still running the nerd cantina and
See, I haven't played
and the
in
City of
months.
Nerd, yeah.
That's what happens when you move.
Tack, say hi to Tack.
Hey.
And Sammy's. Sammy's was actually going to give us a drink, but since we're not doing that this episode,
Next time.
just for
My
you,
GI
Sammy's.
says so.
Yep.
So Dryden Voss. I thought Dryden Voss
Okay.
was great.
Cool.
Number 5.
Number 5, Maul.
Maul.
Yes.
Okay.
Because we've talked about his evolution through the cartoons.
Sure.
In episode 1, he was cool. He had 3 lines. He was done. The cartoons, they bring him back. He's so much better. The book, the Palpatine book, even more backstory on him. So I
And
like.
just forget about the last episode or the last season of Clone Wars specifically. Those last couple episodes with him.
Yeah.
They're some of the best Star Wars. Period.
Yeah, 100%. Like you learn so much more about him than what you saw in the movie that he was in. So he has so much deeper. There's so much more depth to him than what we saw in the movie. So I had Maul at number 5.
All right. See, number 5, I had Revan.
Revan,
I
okay.
had Revan. Now Revan is weird to put on this list because he's kind of a bad guy, but not really. So like, I would have Revan on my top 10 Jedi of all time as well.
Okay.
Because if you again, it's called Knights of the Old Republic, and you can literally get it on your phone.
Right.
It's a great game, and it's got really good. I mean, it's not a good game so far as like action, because it's kind of like a turn-based strategy game.
Okay.
But it's got an amazing story, and you learn more about this Revan guy, and his just ability to like. He had this crazy ability to sway people and like to get people to fight for him, and he was like the ultimate Jedi and Sith all at once. So.
He wrote Revlon.
Darth Revlon. Oh,
Darth Revlon.
I love it. He had the most beautiful hair. You're almost there. R-E-V-A-N. You're almost there.
He
Oh boy. So Revan.
good
yeah.
makeup and everything like that. Yeah. So
And he also had a really awesome helmet thing.
Okay.
Because he had his whole thing. Again, we talk about Revan a lot with Mandalorians because he beat Mandalore. Like that was his thing. Is that in the Mandalorian Wars he beat Mandalore, and he took his helm, and so he had almost like a Mandalorian helmet with Jedi robes and stuff.
oh, cool.
So it was a pretty interesting. So it was
Very
just really cool. You should check out Darth Revan.
Yes.
Number
All
5.
right. Number 4 for me is one that you have already mentioned. All the way up at number 9, Grand Moff, M-O-F-F.
Yeah,
Grand
Moff.
Grand Moff Tarkin, T-A-R-K-E-N.
Grand Moff.
Grand Moff
Grand
Tarkin.
Moff tartar sauce.
Yes, Grand Moff Tartar Sauce.
All right, so you had him at 4. I had Thrawn at number 4.
Okay.
Thrawn, again, you will not know unless you have either watched Rebels or there's been a couple books. Thrawn was out in the Legends before the Disney reboot, and then they brought him back for the canon stuff, so they released a couple different books for him. Thrawn is just like an evil genius. He's a chiss. If you don't know what a chiss is, it's like a human, but with blue skin and red eyes.
Yeah. He was such a good bad
And he
guy
was
in
like,
Rebels.
anytime he was on screen, there was this nasty organ, like pipe organ music that started playing. And he just seemed like the most menacing,
And you just
calm,
knew.
cool, collected, stone cold, evil dude.
He knew everything he was going to do hours before he did it. He had everything calculated so much.
Yep.
When the rebels did something, he goes, "Oh yes, I knew that's what was going to happen." Like he was just so calm, just so menacing the whole time. Like you said, that's a good choice. I like that. I
Yep.
didn't even get anybody from Rebels, and I love Rebels. So
Yeah, that one has been on my mind for a while now. Thrawn,
Yeah.
good stuff. I got to read the books. The Thrawn books are apparently very good.
Okay.
All right, that's number
That was 4. Number 3, I picked one that you had at 8, Kylo,
Kylo. Okay.
because I mean he was the bad guy, the big bad guy from the sequels. So, you know, you gotta, even though he was just a pawn in Palpatine's.
Yeah, I do. Again, I love Star Wars and I like the sequel trilogy. There's a lot of wishes I have.
Yeah.
And I just wish they had treated him a little differently because I think he was such a good actor. And I don't know. I just think they could have done more with him. And I wish he was the one that lived.
Okay.
That would have made a lot more sense for the rise of Skywalker.
Yes.
For someone with
The name
Skywalker
Skywalker.
blood to reclaim his Skywalker heritage
Yes.
after rejecting
Uh-huh.
his dark side heritage.
Right.
And it also would have made more sense, you know, he would have then spent the rest of his life as an outcast and a hermit, just kind of traveling the galaxy trying to make up and right the wrongs he committed.
He committed. Yeah.
Instead, he died a good guy, he smooched his girlfriend.
And that was it.
That was it.
That was
I don't
it.
know.
Yeah.
I thought
So-
more could have been done.
I understand, but I was going off of what their idea was.
Sure. Yeah.
So-
and that idea was a good one.
I mean, when going back to even the trailers for 7, when you first see his lightsaber in the trailers,
Yeah.
you're like, oh,
Yeah.
you know, like there was so much potential there.
Yeah.
So I think I ranked this off of potential
I dig that.
rather than what it turned out to
We
be.
didn't have any fine print.
Right. Yeah.
That's fine.
So
Number 3 for me, I had Sheev, our boy Sheev Palpatine.
okay.
Only at number 3.
Okay, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Because
Now,
he is not on my list yet. So the fact
Yeah.
that he's at your 3 and he's not on mine,
well, see now again, because I think we approached it a little differently, which is good, because I did the ones that I think not only were handled the best, but also I took it all into account. So yeah, Sheev definitely deserved Palpatine, the Emperor.
Emperor Palpatine,
Right.
Mike, you can write that if you want to.
Yeah, you don't have to write Sheev.
Sheev is too complicated.
But obviously he needs to be in the top because he's the big bad of the entire series.
I think Palpatine spelled wrong.
Steve Palpatine. Steve Palpatine. You know.
Steve Palpatine, yeah.
But my top 2 I picked simply because of character development and
Okay.
everything. I mean, there's only 2 others it could be after this.
Right,
point, so-
yes.
So what was your number 2?
So my number 2 was Vader,
Okay.
Darth Vader. So knowing that Palpatine's in the top 3 and he's not 3 or now 2, you
Right.
know where he's going to land at number 1.
Right, so
So
you've got Palpatine, and that's fair. I think most lists would wind up with Palpatine.
Because, I
number
mean,
1. or else Vader. If you had Palpatine or Vader,
right.
I think you're probably going to wind up because Palpatine is the big bad, but according to anything, Anakin is supposed to be the chosen one. You know what I
Right,
mean?
Anakin was supposed to be the chosen one. We also talked about Baby Yoda was born the same year as Anakin.
Right.
So in Star Wars, good versus evil, Anakin being the chosen one and then turning out to be the ultimate bad guy, dark side guy, they're saying Baby Yoda was born to balance that good versus evil.
Interesting theory. Now, if you were to talk to George Lucas, his theory has always been that Anakin still is the chosen one,
Okay.
and he did still bring balance to the Force by killing
By
the Emperor.
right.
Which begs the question: what does it mean to bring balance to the Force? Does
Yes.
it mean to kill the bad guys?
Right. Does
Because
it?
that doesn't seem like very balanced.
That means that everything is all swayed to the good side.
Right.
So if you're bringing balance to the Force, that means there has to be equal bad and good in the world.
Right.
You know, so
So if he killed the Emperor and brought balance to the Force, and
Then-
then he died,
then who's the new bad guy? Then
there's
that's
got to
when.
be someone.
Yeah. So during that time, who was the bad guy during that time? Where's the balance at that point in time?
Maybe one day we'll find out.
Maybe. So
But
yes.
I had Maul at number 2.
Okay.
I had him at number 1 for a minute, and then
Oh.
I decided against it
Okay.
after thinking about it. Just because of all the, I mean, he was a throwaway character that
Right.
they used for merchandising of a new lightsaber toy that they managed to morph into this awesome, complex character, and he's the most real character for me, I think, in the series because he's like, he was driven insane. Because all he was used his entire life
Yes.
by different people for different things.
Yep.
And then when he's finally got his own piece of, like, this is mine now. I'm the head of this crime syndicate. You know, I'm powerful in my own right. I'm not Darth Maul anymore. I'm just Maul. But behind all that, there was still just that driving force of I need to kill the people who did these terrible things to me. He wanted to kill Palpatine.
Yep.
He wanted to kill Obi-Wan. Those
Yep.
were his 2 main focuses that he wanted to do.
Yeah.
And it just, like, the more you saw him in each thing, in Clone Wars and in Rebels, kind of the crazier he got. And like,
Yeah, but the crazier he got in it, and actually made more sense.
yeah, but it wasn't like a you know, like a Joker crazy, like blathering and an idiot.
Yeah.
It was like this crazy conviction. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like someone who is so convinced of what he must do that he'll do anything to do it.
And he turned out to not be, towards the end, to me, I took it almost like he's not a bad guy anymore against the galaxy, against everybody. He just wants revenge.
Yeah.
You know? So I moved him up. Some lists that I saw and where I originally put him, I had him much lower. I moved him up to 5 because of what he turned out in the Rebels and Clone Wars. And then that made you move him up even higher,
Yeah.
which is awesome.
Yeah. And then, of course, number 1, I had Vader.
Vader.
I mean, Vader, again, I think you have to put him 1 or 2.
Yeah. Oh,
but if
100%.
you played Jedi Fallen Order and you watched Rogue One, I mean, those 2 scenes is what I hope we're going to see more of with Vader in the future because they're finally showing us what Vader's supposed to be.
Yes,
Which is untouchable.
how untouchable he was.
Yeah, like I've played like Star Wars: The Force Unleashed is like one of the oldest Star Wars video games that I remember playing. Yeah, not oldest, but one of the most fun. And like you beat Darth Vader in the game in a fight, and you're like, that shouldn't happen.
It shouldn't happen. He's the
Meanwhile,
biggest bad guy.
In Jedi Fallen Order, you're not even given the option to fight him. It's like there's Vader, run.
Run.
And he
yeah.
just starts throwing the world at you.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And that's the way it should be. He should be, and that's what I wish we would get, and I don't think we ever will, is like a rated R horror Star Wars movie.
Okay.
Like a Sith chasing you down, like you're a Padawan, and you've just got like the Inquisitors after you, but it's serious.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that would be so cool, but I don't know that we'll ever see it with Disney.
And also the way Vader just his own people, just even his own people, how he was taking them out because they were disagreeing with him, arguing with him. He was like, I'm gonna choke you, and then I'll just move up a new general. You know, like, and you knew like the next one up, you're like, oh great, thanks.
Yep.
This is a promotion that I don't really want.
Yep. And most of the time that turned out bad for them.
Turned out bad for you, yeah. So there we go. So Darth Vader for you, Palpatine for me at number 1, and that's
I think that's about it, man.
That's about it. That's the end of our top 10.
This is our first in-person, socially distanced.
Socially distanced, he's way over there.
podcast.
I'm way over here.
Live from BanthaMilk headquarters for the time being.
For the time being, the virtual BanthaMilk headquarters
I
until
want
we
to thank
can.
our entire production team.
Yes, of one.
All of you back there did a great job.
I hope you enjoyed having fun playing with all of the stuff back there, relearning everything that we need to learn.
I hope about an hour ago you hit record. Please check us out on social media. We're on Instagram and Facebook at BanthaMilk Podcast. We're on Twitter at BanthaMilk. You can email us, banthamilkpodcast@gmail.com. Respond to us. Let us know who you think is going to win in a fight, Voldemort or Palpatine. Right? And tell me why. Who's going to use what curse and what spell and what lightning? I
What
don't know.
lightning, force lightning are you going to use to win?
Yeah, let us know what's happening. Send us drink recipes. Send us Star Wars news. Send us Star Wars pictures. Send us a note to say hello and that you miss us.
And if you want to enter the contest, maybe you too could win, be a producer for a day, and sit back in the studio where Mike is right now,
That's right.
typing in strange things as we're talking about stuff. So from all of us here at
BanthaMilk.
BanthaMilk headquarters, new temporary virtual headquarters,
We have spoken.
we have spoken.
Take us out, Mike.